The impossible has happened. CCP have revealed more info on their latest attempt to launch an EVE FPS. Developed in Unreal 5 for PC, the new game called EVE Vanguard is currently in pre-alpha. CCP have announced a limited time first strike playtest open to anyone with an Omega status. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've been here before, but Vanguard has received a significantly better reception than Nova's reveal at EVE Vegas. So I'm confident come December we will actually get the game in our hands. In preparation for the December First Strike playtest, I wanted to summarise what CCP have revealed in advance. As part of the Fanfest keynote, CCP had a live demo of Vanguard, and it's this footage I'll be showing here. So what do we know about EVE Vanguard? First off, it's a PC game using the same launcher as EVE Online. Long term, we don't know if it's a PC exclusive, but given how early it is in the development cycle, I wouldn't be expecting a PS5 or Xbox release anytime soon. At first glance, it appears to be an extraction shooter, but CCP are keen to clarify that it is a sandbox shooter, with their tagline, as above, so below, meaning they're trying to bring the EVE experience to the FPS genre. The game mode shown is player versus environment versus player. You are tasked with achieving objectives such as eliminating NPCs to retrieve a mission item, whilst other players may compete or assist you in this goal. The biggest takeaway of the Fanfest demo is this is not Dust 2.0. There are no vehicles in the game, no lobby round-paced gameplay, though this is not something that's been ruled out in the long term. CCP's development is based on the ethos, we give you the tools, you make the rules. If a requested feature is popular enough in the community, then it could be developed in the future. The link between games is once again taking centre stage after being pushed into the long grass when developing Project Nova. CCP are keen to utilise this unique selling point, offering a simpler introduction to the new Eden universe. The Havoc expansion in EVE Online will introduce a new pirate incursion feature. It is here Vanguard clones will be fighting to increase corruption in faction warfare space by aiding the Angel Cartel and Greaster pirate factions. This will act as a modifier on the system, similar to how Dust faction warfare matches could affect the system capture status. CCP have many potential link ideas on their roadmap. No real-time integration like orbital bombardments are currently in the game, but the devs are aware this is a popular headline-grabbing feature, so are not ruling it out. Other potential avenues of integration they are exploring are things like destroyed ships in EVE being able to be looted in Vanguard, extracting planet resources to POCOs above the planet, and some interaction with PI. At this point, we really are lacking any hard details on what the game will be beyond the action shown as part of the Fanfest demo. Details on suit types, weapons, skill system, progression, etc. is all still unknown. The game currently features players using the Caldari drop suit, maybe using this as a placeholder. It is unknown whether the other old suits will feature, including those shown as part of the EVE Vegas Project Nova demo, or if entirely new drop shoot models will be used for the 1.0 version of Vanguard. Of the new weapons shown, CCP have revived the Empire parity-led design philosophy, with a rifle from each of the four displayed as part of the Fanfest presentation. The full extent of what weapons will make a return is not yet known. More anti-vehicle focused weapons such as the Ford gun and plasma cannon are probably lower on the priority list. At the Q&A panel, CCP mentioned that players like the feeling of progression, so there is an expectation you'll be more powerful over time as you play the game. How CCP will manage the difference in power between new and existing players is key to the long-term viability of the game. One thing that was commented on is there is no predefined roles. It is up to you to customize your loadout to suit what you're trying to achieve, to coordinate loadouts with your squad mates so you can adapt to any scenario. CCP are keen to gauge interest in Vanguard, so I strongly encourage you to go to their sign-up website and register your email address. It's the easiest way to keep up to date if any of the playtest details change. The playtest is currently scheduled for December, but no details beyond that. When it starts and how long it goes on for are still to be decided. CCP Shortfall mentioned to set your expectation to the 31st of December, and if it hits earlier, you will be pleasantly surprised. In order to join the playtest, you need Omega status at the time of the playtest. EVE needs to be installed on your desktop as the game will launch using the EVE launcher. Be sure to manage your expectations. CCP are not switching on the game in December and keeping it on. This will be a limited playtest. Once it's done, they'll turn it off again and we will need to wait for the next iteration, and this is all subject to change. It is also not known whether progression will continue through the playtests or if at some point it will be reset or wiped. As you would expect from a game this early in development, there is not a hard recommended specs list. As part of the panel, CCP advised a solid gaming PC built in 2018 should suffice, but this may be subject to change as the game develops. CCP are keen to stress this is not an extraction shooter. There is no timer staying on planet, and your success being deployed is not based on surviving and extracting all the loot. Other players deployed may have different objectives, and creating on-the-fly uneasy alliances with other players may be necessary in order to achieve your goals. The ability to craft certain items, such as new ammo types or deployable cover, means that you will not need to extract frequently, but can stay planet-side for longer play sessions. Given the limited amount of gameplay footage available at this stage, you're unsure how the time to kill compares to Dust, and how much suit customization and progression will affect this. Currently, the maximum number of players deployed in one instance is 21, with a potential 90 non-player characters. At this stage, the squad size is limited to 3, although you can solo and I assume deploy as a 2-person team. Whilst EVE allows you to interact with other players across the globe, thanks to the 1-second server ticks, the realities of FPS mechanics mean that CCP have implemented a soft region lock based on your ping with other players. So, unfortunately, you may not get to settle your Australia versus America grud matches. Very little was said about the social side, the ability to form corporations and alliances. I think this is due to how early it is in the game. With so much subject to change, I expect this to be one of the later developed features after they work fleshing out the content of the game. We've not had any clarification about reserving your old Dust clone's name. Only your EVE character and Vanguard clone are separate entities. So you may need to take that into consideration when choosing your name. This also means that you're able to play both games simultaneously on one Omega subscription. There is no confirmed Dust Veteran reward. This is a complicated area given the reliance on PSN accounts and related emails that users may no longer have access to. In CCP's usual way, they remain committed to trying to acknowledge the war clones that went before. There are many different directions they could go with this, such as skins or emblems or icons, etc. But CCP needs to strike a balance between rewarding returning old players and attracting new players. So far, details are pretty sparse on the lore side. The role-playing community in EVE have been keeping the war clone story alive, such as with the Bastina Accords, but at this stage we only know the new Vanguard clones originate from the Fulcrum, controlled by the Deathless. Who are the Inframorphs utilising the clone bodies is not yet known. As part of CCP's press release, they mentioned the following. Players take on the role of the Vanguard, a new generation of war clones fighting for their survival and the liberation of their consciousness. Deploying onto the surface of planets racked with turmoil and littered with opportunity, they will engage in hazardous missions to unlock their potential. This seems to indicate you'll be working solely for the pirates, but I expect the narrative to develop as CCP sets up additional playtests. It is also unknown whether the Vanguard will only be able to affect the pirate incursion corruption level, or if they'll be able to aid the Empire's suppression mechanic. After such a long break since Dust was shut down, I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on CCP's latest attempt to bring New Eden to the FPS genre. As more details are revealed, I will be sure to post update videos, and when the game does go live, I'll give my first impressions on whether it really managed to scratch the same itch that Dust did. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'm impressed you made it this far.